Got any ideas?
Hey guys, VALTORIOUS the Awoken here. Now today, we're going to be doing a video on Blade versus Dracula. Now, there is plenty of other Draculas that's out there. Will get a lot of people confused. I'm like, well, listen, Val, there's a lot of Draculas that's out there that which Blade can face and which he cannot face, and I'm just gonna name them off the top of the list. Sacred Ancestor, that's beyond rape. Vampire Hunter D, that's beyond rape. Alucard from Helsing, that's beyond rape. So those are three Draculas from different lores and other fictions that he can't beat. So I'm going to give you the Castlevania Reboot, Gabriel Belmont's Dracula, that I believe that will be a fair fight for him, and it wouldn't necessarily be, it wouldn't be too much of a curb stomp because both men are very skillful when it comes to weaponry. Even though Blade, when it comes to Blade, basically you can say he's not like a pseudo Batman, but he basically mastered all forms of fighting, weaponry, everything. Like, he knows his stuff when it comes down to his weaponry. And in comic book history, he has faced a lot of vampires, a lot of people. He was in a civil war. He even fought Wolverine, and even Wolverine said to a degree that, yeah, his healing factor is basically on par with his. So it does says a lot for Blade, because Blade has been through a lot of tough times for having Deacon Frost basically kill his mother. He inhabited some of, the vampire genes. We're making him into like a hybrid. Then he got bitten by Morbius, and his power basically been enhanced even more, where he doesn't have none of the other vampire weaknesses. Only thing that he has is basically the need for blood. That's it. But he has serums that keeps him from not going into those urges for like 24 hours. I believe the serum keeps him hold for like 24 hours and stuff. So, Blade does have that. And, he went up against Deacon Frost, killed them on numerous occasions because Deacon Frost somehow kept coming back to life, because Deacon Frost was basically a scientist at one point, and you can say he artificially became a vampire. So you can say Deacon Frost is kind of like Vamp from Metal Gear, you can say, because Vamp was like an artificial vampire. He wasn't like a vampire, he was like an artificial one. So I see Deacon Frost as an artificial vampire. He's not dead, but it was through science, but it wasn't by normal and natural means. It was through science because he accidentally injected himself with the vampire blood and he became a vampire. But it was through science and it was different. Then you have Dracula himself from Marvel that Blade also have defeated on numerous occasions, and he's taken him down to a degree. But let's be honest here, this is the same Dracula that defeated Apocalypse a very long time ago. Until this happened to Dracula over here. But yeah, and if anybody was to say that, well, Dracula has defeated the Silver Surfer, that part is no longer, I don't know. Well, I don't know, it's comic books, but that part's no longer there because everybody knows that Silver Surfer would mollywop Dracula. But that's for like another story. But yeah, Blade himself, I feel that he can face Gabriel Belmont. I feel that he can basically face him. Now, if anybody was to throw up and say that, well, Blade faced God Deacon Frost in the movie, that movie is not even canon in story, because that part, he never faced the God Vampire. He never faced the God Vampire in comics. The only closest probably you could say is maybe Dracula, but he's not even considered a god because he's all right. He's not a big threat where everybody's like, oh my god, like, yeah, he faced the Hulk, he did face like powerful beings, but Dracula himself in Marvel, he's a so-so Dracula. Like, if you put that Dracula up against any other Dracula from other like fiction lore, he will be destroyed instantly, not even a shadow of a doubt. He will be destroyed instantly. So I would say that Blade's Dracula from Marvel, he's alright. Now, getting over to my boy Gabriel Belmont. Now, Gabriel Belmont, as we all know, that's, trained by the Brotherhood of Light. Eventually found out that the Mirror of Fate and how everything, his whole life was doomed from the start. And he defeated all of the Lords of Shadows. He defeated Lucifer. Then he went into the Forgotten One's realm. He defeated him, took his power. Then he became Dracula. Was enraged by the fact that the Brotherhood of Light and everybody that he knew and stood by him basically betrayed him. Didn't even tell him nothing that he even had a son or anything. They shielded his son for years and years and years, not knowing that that was his son. Then he basically destroyed, he raged war up against the world for like centuries until he fought against his son later. He killed his own son, then turned his son into a vampire and stuff. And then, one thing led to another from there, where it was his son and his grandson. Well, no, it was his son and it was his son and his grandson that defeated him all those years back. But looking at Gabriel's power and his feats is very impressive. Is that this man literally took a nuke. This man literally took a nuke and still stood standing still. And it was like, you can't even kill this man with like holy and natural means and stuff. Like, it's not even gonna work. This man is just freaking ridiculous. He fought an entire army and was winning. Like, who does that? Like, seriously, who does it? Like, what type of levels this man was smoking on at the time? Like, Jesus, man. But yeah, that Gabriel's Dracula, he's pretty powerful. Like, he defeated Lucifer one time and then he killed them the second time. So it's like, hey man, he's freaking crazy. So the fight between Gabriel and Blade at this moment would be it wouldn't be too much of a curb stomp. It's just that Blade is gonna be trying to like use his swords, the stuff that he has against him. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because the only thing that can kill Dracula is basically the vampire killer, which was shattered to pieces but was brought back to life by Zobek. But as I said in my previous videos, that kind of like debunks that theory, was that his son Alucard had shards of his sword, shards of the vampire killer that only was able to put him to sleep. Now you would have to disfigure his entire sword, the Consagrum. You have to disfigure the entire sword and take those fragments and those pieces into the vampire killer, and that would be the only way to make the true vampire killer in order for you to actually kill Dracula. That's the only way. That's the only way you can actually kill him. But if you don't have like the true vampire killer, not the one not the Kasajan, because you can still defeat him, you can put him to sleep, but you want him to die. So all of Blade's arsenals, his weaponry, anything that he has is not gonna work, because when Gabriel fought his other descendant Victor, when he defeated Victor inside this underground like palace, he did seal his power. Like, he managed to like temporarily disable it, but it still didn't mean anything at the end of the day because he still defeated him. So it's like again Blade is still going to be kind of screwed here. Now, not saying that Blade's durability, it'd still be fine. Like, he can, he could fight him an entire night and it still wouldn't prove the fact that Gabriel is stronger than him. Depowered or not, he's still gonna beat him and stuff because of how his combat skills is and stuff. So it's like, at the end of the day, Gabriel Belmont's I see him taking a win here, unless Blade has like parts of the true cross or something that necessarily can do damage. But even so, even if he had like parts of the true cross, it still wouldn't work because again, this man took a nuke. And was actually still standing tall. So even so, any like holy artifacts, relics, it still didn't work, because even when Gabriel was stabbed in the heart by a vampire killer, it didn't work. Like, it didn't even work because Trevor was like, yo, this is not how a vampire is supposed to die, because his true vampire killer was probably strong enough to actually kill him and stuff. But like I said, since his son basically had parts of his shattered vampire killer, well, the cross, and you know, it was turned into his sword, the Crusade Room, it still doesn't mean anything. It still doesn't mean anything, and anything that Blade has in his arsenal, like I said, is not gonna work. So yeah, Gabriel Belmont is gonna actually to take the win, because looking at some of like Blade's, like his fights and some stuff that happened in the comics, he fought strong people, but he hasn't faced anybody like Gabriel. Because I was looking, I was like, yeah, like, let me see how many people that Blade can go up against. So I was like, well, Vampire Hunter D, he'd probably just, it'd be crazy, because all he would necessarily do, he'd probably just suck the soul out of him. Probably just take his soul. You can't even drink his blood, because Vampire Hunter D's blood is toxic. The moment any vampire drinks his blood, or or hybrid would drink his blood, they dead. Instantly die. You know, and then again, you have a vampire who's 10,000 years older than him and stronger than him. So, you know, that's beyond rape, and sacred ancestor, that's beyond rape. So, yeah, so, you know, like I said, I gave like Blade like a very fair chance. I gave him like a very fair chance because, you know, at least for Gabriel, he will be able to fight him. And if, now let's just say if Blade's arsenals and the weapons that he has doesn't necessarily work, and he finds like other ways to maybe temporarily disable his power, he will have a one-on-one fight to a degree. And I think they fighting skills, fighting wise, they're on par with each other. I feel like they're on par with each other. But it's just that Gabriel's power is just stupid. It's just beyond strong at this point. So I think he would still lose. Either way. Either he be depowered, he loses control, it still doesn't matter because he would still win. So yeah, Gabriel for the win here. So if you like what you heard what you like, you know, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff. Hey, let me know if I missed anything, but like I said, Gabriel still wins, and I will catch you later. Before we finish up here, and for Blade to have faced like the original Dracula, now the original Dracula has been defeated by, you know, different families, Belmonts, and then, you know, eventually his reincarnation destroyed like the core of his power. So even though Dracula over the years has faced like multiple amount of like people, Belmonts, and like I said, other families who possess like other forms of holy artifacts and stuff to actually defeat Dracula. Now Blade himself, I mean, like I said, he's very skilled, but this man was literally bringing people to his own dimension and fighting them, summoning meteors and doing all types of stuff. So I don't know, like I said, against the original Dracula from the Castlevania series, I think Blade is still dead here, because like I said, he's bringing people to his own dimension and fighting them and then doing all types of stuff. Like this man, he nearly destroyed the world. That's how crazy Dracula's power was. Like he nearly destroyed the world. And seeing how, you know, Blade, like I said before, against other types of Dracula incarnations and stuff, he's not gonna have that much of a bout. So yeah, you know, that's all I just wanted to say also to that. So if you like what you heard, please subscribe, share, all that wonderful stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you later.